G'day everybody. I want to talk about takeaway food in times. And of course areas make up to this. And business discretion also comes in about. Right? It's up to them for how much they think they're gonna make. Right? But you don't know unless you have maybe because people always check up things before they call. So if you're thinking that people not calling after this time, it's because they don't want anything. They might be not doing that because they know not to call because it's getting too late, right? So to find out that people want food longer and that you might make more business is, I guess, talk about it and do a survey with people that come in your area because this will help with this thing I'm about to say. So when it comes to tea times, we learnt to have tea roughly when it gets dark. It's getting dark, the day's over, you can't run around out there. Come in, children, right? And we've naturally created tea time at that time, right? Normally after it gets dark or as it's getting dark, right? So when it comes to, and so people have takeaway stores go a few extra hours over tea time or the average because people are all slightly different, right? About when they're going to go eat their tea after the dark, when it becomes dark. Because that's the most common thing of noticing night. True. So when it comes to places that get daylight savings, right, they get these time changes, and it does change out in the light. It confuses you. It annoys me. Time I get used to daylight savings, because it takes you a few months to get used to things properly, it's starting to go away, and then I've got to get used to it. It's gone. So it's a little annoying adjustments that you can do. But when it comes to daylight savings and businesses that shut on these normal times that all the whole country does in different areas that might not have daylight savings or in different parts of the world, because we all want to be similar as we have tourists come over and stuff, and we like to keep things similar as possible so they feel more like at home and a place to visit and be different as well. So when it comes to daylight savings, it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock. So if you're going with that theory of the people doing their thing and could be outside, right? And if you're a bush person, you would be more likely, right? And do more. You'd like, hey, I can do more. You might extend your tea time a bit further, stretch it a little bit more, spread lunch a little bit further and breakfast and so on. You might stretch it and work it all in so you still have your 3 meals because your time's gone a bit longer. But if that happens, say here in Australia, like now, right, it's coming up to 11, right? But if it was 6 o'clock, and most places shut here at 10, right? 10 o'clock. And that's usually because most people eat at 6, so they're given that 4-hour bracket there, which is more than enough when you go the average from 6 when it starts, right? On some people. Some people start at 5:30 and that, but the average is 6 to 7, right? They've gone a few extra hours over that because of the theory that about, night time and that. That's where that time comes in, and I was just talking about. So when it comes to daylight savings, you'd think businesses, if I'm right about that theory, and they'll find out doing a survey in these areas, is they need to ask people, do you eat later on daylight savings? Because of the way we are. And just find out. Sometimes they can push something to happen. But if they're a person that goes with the flow a lot and can get stuck into things like that, you might find a certain answer, because I know I'll do that. Right? And I'll be like, yeah, daylight savings, sometimes it's like 12 o'clock, it's like the latest times. Even for you, eh? Yeah. As you don't notice the time sometimes if you get stuck into things. You're in a room, you're having fun, like people say, well, you're not. And you just don't notice the time. And so on daylight savings can be really trickful on that, and people find it hard to go to bed a little early and that because they don't like to sleep in the daylight. People went to bed at 9 and things like that, so they have to put up curtains and so on. So when it comes to daylight savings, it should be a few more extra hours, is what I say when it comes to takeaway food. So instead of being 10 o'clock, at least bang another 2 and make it 12 o'clock and see what happens. See how many people order up to 12 o'clock or not. See, Macca's stay open in a lot of places, like here in Albury, and I notice they do it because I've been in that situation. That's close to a cinema that we have here, and they stay open extra later, and they don't mind it because they get influx people. Because I talked to someone that worked there, right? And when people come out of the movies, because Macca's just around the corner, not far, people tend to go, and it's late, and there's nothing else open, right? So this is how business gets business, and they're usually always a little bit slow, but they love this kind of thing. And some pizza places do it as well, late at night with the nightclubs around. I've also seen to get the people coming out at 2 o'clock in the morning that they might like a pizza, stuff like that. And that's the business discretion part, isn't it? But it's good that it happens because with the cinema and having late night movies cause an influx at certain times, definitely on holidays and certain things like that, of people coming out going, oh, we're extra hungry and we're still in a little mood, we're talking about the movie. And so they'll go to McDonald's and do it, or a place to eat. And that was the place that was open. And so they had an influx of people and business. So if you know that can happen, that allows you to stay open. And that'll happen more often once people start going out like they used to do. Because if you ever looked at when did people go out and travel the most and connect the most? And that was when inflation was down. True. So hopefully we can get inflation down. People will go out more often. Times can change. Things will be better. And people will get out. Because no one likes to be bottled up too much, even with all the technology. And sometimes they do. They get hooked for a little bit. But eventually they get sick of it and they want to get out. People always want to get out. And a lot of things are closed down right now because of insurance reasons and people not going much and people like to claim more, right? Because of the society the way it was. Shut down a lot of things around here, like the go-kart centre, and I've talked about in clips, and other things. Not just because people aren't going out, so you're not got people not going out as much, plus insurance costs and all the rest. Never helps, does it? So you look at all the problems as a government and you go, if we want to fix such a problem, we need to fix these areas and find out what things are happening and how can we fix that. Do we need people to sign more viable things or just have a sign about what could actually happen in some things with accidents? You might just ram into someone on a go-kart and get whiplash. You can't see the go-kart place unless there's a real accident. Reason too that the go-kart dude ran out in front of you or smacked you in the back of the head as you went past and got the whiplash. Something like that, a really good excuse. Other than that, it's not just because you got whiplash or there was an accident that accidentally just got there or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's up to the people not to be so pushy and try to think they can always do someone over because something happened. Sometimes we all got to go, yeah, it's all right, I got smacked in the head. Instead of going, instead of going, that person says, right now, you're entitled to $100. You want that $100? I can get you that $100 right now. And they're a poor person or they can't afford it. And even if they could, right, it's up to your discretion to be nice and go, and if it was an accident, you go, yeah, if it was deliberate and you know they can afford it, I understand to go, okay, well, I might just take that $100. But if it's not, if it's the other cases, in a lot of cases it can be, or an apology and certain things, apology and respect and go, shit, I didn't do that, is that better than $100 giving you respect or give you the $100 and have no respect? Right? And you might get a couple more smacking ears from other people because they think you see for fun and money and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's why you don't want to get involved with it because things can always be twisted. So I find just be peaceful because it's hard for people to twist peacefulness in it. If they try to get at something that they'll always look stupid because you were trying to be peaceful and right and not dominating or anything like that. Have a good one, people, and bye-bye.